Welcome to the Goalbusters Expert Peak Productivity Tips podcast, where top business experts get just 7 minutes to answer 5 rapid-fire questions about what they do and how they stay productive. Each episode is packed with actionable insights to help boost your efficiency and achieve your goals. Let's dive in and unlock the secrets to peak performance. Well, hello everyone. My name is Robin J. Emden, and I'm an accountability coach and author of Get Resultsology, The Science of Getting Stuff Done. I work with people who run their own business. No boss, distractions everywhere, and never enough hours in the day. Together, we cut through the noise, sharpen their focus, and follow through on the big ideas that actually move the needle. That's what I call the momentum formula. Do it today, profit tomorrow, and repeat. So if that sounds like the kind of breakthrough that you're looking for, then you're in exactly the right place. And speaking of being in exactly the right place, I am delighted to welcome our guest expert today. Josselyne Herman-Saccio is a master coach in the art of being unmessable with, no matter what life throws at you. Josselyne has spent over 30 years as an entrepreneur, author, coach, course leader, and curriculum designer of transformative programs. Her mission is to empower people to live the life of their dreams now versus someday, and develop themselves to be unmessable with in the process. Josselyne, welcome to Goalbusters.
Thanks for having me.
You're very welcome. Whereabouts in the world are you, Josselyne?
Right now, I am actually in New York, but I'm on my way to Paris next week. So the future is bright.
Oh, wonderful. Yes, that sounds like quite a globe-trotting existence you have there. That's fantastic.
It isn't horrible.
Yes. All right. So instead of me waffling on and going into that, because I do love Paris and I'd like to know more about New York, but that's for another time. Shall we do the questions instead?
Let's do it.
Okay, then let's get the clock up on the screen. And there it goes. Josselyne, could you tell me, please, who is your ideal client?
I would say primarily entrepreneurs, owners, founders, or high-level executives who are really effective and successful, but they experience like a lack of fulfillment and satisfaction. So they have the results, right? Like you're all about results, but they don't have the fulfillment.
Okay, and that of course is critically important. So and in your answer you've alluded to the problem, but I think you'll probably solve more than one problem. Like, perhaps you could enlighten us a little bit more on the problem or problems that you solve.
Yeah, the biggest problem that I find with especially highly successful people, but even other people, is that they end up in this world that I call the world of reaction, where they're reacting to fires, putting them out, dealing with problems, and even good reactions are reactions. So you're constantly in that world of dealing with what life is throwing at you. And that's a very different space than what I call the world of creation or vision. And the world of creation and vision is like those magic moments that you have in your life where you're creating, you're looking up and out. You might be having failures and breakdowns, but you don't even care because it's so enlivening. That's the space that I shift people to. So I take people out of the world of reaction and give them a reliable methodology to shift from reaction to creation on a dime, because most people spend 99% of their day, if not more, in the world of reaction.
Yes. The factory floor process, isn't it? And
Exactly.
why would
The
you
default
choose to do
mode.
that if you didn't, if you were consciously choosing to do more with your life?
Yes.
Yeah.
And stay in that space of fulfilling their dream rather than chasing it.
Yeah. Brilliant. Well, I love that. Okay. So what is one valuable free action that the audience can implement that would help them to solve that problem?
Well, one thing is I've found that people's calendars are basically a to-do list. And if you have a to-do list, it's exhausting. It's a recipe for overwhelm and burnout and a lack of fulfillment. So what I tell people to do, and I have like a whole workshop about this, but what I tell people to do, which you can start doing right now, is every time you have a to-do, create a context for what you're doing. So I'll give you an example because context is really the most important part of the work that I do. But let's say you have workout, you're going to the gym. That's your to-do. Okay, but how come? Like, what are you creating by going to the gym? So I have people put creating vitality or whatever they're creating longevity, creating energy, creating whatever they're creating, and then what they're doing. So what you have in your calendar is a context and a content. The to-dos are the content, and the results that you produce are content, but the context is really the thing that impacts your experience of life from a moment to moment perspective. So if you're going to have a client meeting, okay, what am I creating with this client meeting? I'm creating connection. So it gives you like a North Star to like a heading in that meeting or in that activity. So you're not just doing stuff to get through it to the next thing that you have to do.
Yeah, a way, a slightly different way of framing that, and it's a slightly different point, is it, what's the why? Why is that? Why are you doing that? And quite often,
Yeah.
it's quite helpful if you ask it the question that you're asking, or ask it as a why. If the why is all because it just needs to be done, get someone else to do it. You don't need
Yeah,
to be doing it.
exactly. Delegate,
Yeah.
delegate, which most entrepreneurs are horrible at. But the difference between asking why and what are you creating in the work that I do, vision is a contextual spatial thing. And a lot of times you could say, well, why I'm doing it is to lose 10 pounds. That's still content. It'll be a result in reality, not the context or the space or the lens for the result. So it's a nuance, but it makes all the difference because if you're doing, why am I having this business meeting? In order to make $1 million this year and be able to retire someday. Again, now you're in that someday loop and you're not actually fulfilling on creation right now, fulfilling on connection, fulfilling on vitality. That's fulfillable in the moment of the action, not after.
Yes, and vision is a lot more motivational as well. So I think you would hopefully agree with that. So now that we have a better understanding of what you do, talking of vision and motivation, let's dive briefly into goal busting, which is focusing on how to maximize your productive time even more than you've already shared with us to achieve your business goals even more. So could you share any tips or advice for someone looking to improve their productivity habits, please?
Well, you pointed to it already. I work with entrepreneurs who want to double their revenue at minimum and then work less. So it's exactly what you're talking about because mostly people who are founders or entrepreneurs are the bottleneck of their business. They're the ones who are the clog in the pipe because they're trying to do it all instead of have it all. And having it all requires being good at delegating, which most people are horrible at because they have control. And, when they built their business, they did everything. So that's what kind of entrepreneurship is you're, kind of like in every bucket of everything. But in order to scale, you can't do that. You have to be able to empower other people to step up and be leaders around you.
Yeah, excellent. Very good point. Very succinctly and elegantly put. Thank you so much. All right, so my final question, I always love this one, is what should I have asked you today that I didn't? And your answer, please.
I would have asked me, what does unmessable with mean? And what I would have said is it doesn't mean being tough or not feeling your feelings. What it means is that you're able to stand in or quickly get back to that space of vision and fulfill on what really matters to you, no matter what life is throwing at you, no matter what circumstances you're dealing with, no matter what people life is throwing at you, that you're able to stay true to what is really, really, really important to you ultimately, which is that whole experience of life that's fulfillable now. You don't have to wait till you retire or make $10 million.
Yes, and if I've understood you correctly, it's kind of like, every decision that comes your way, everything that you're asked, it's learning to say no because it doesn't fit my vision.
Yeah.
And oh no, I'm not doing that, or no, I'm not agreeing to do that for you. It's nothing to do with my vision.
Yeah.
And that's a very powerful way of getting things on track and staying on track. Do correct me if I'm wrong about that because I don't want to put
No,
words into
yeah,
your
we're
mouth.
right with you.
Perfect. And we did that in 7 minutes, and we only overrun because Robin was waffling on. So I'll shut up now, and I'll ask you my final question, which is not one of the five, but it's one I always ask at this point. How can people reach you? Part A. And part B is there like a valuable free resource they can get from you? And I always say, it's a bit cheeky asking for that, but actually it's because sometimes people aren't quite ready to get in contact, but they would like to get a flavor of what you do. And that's a brilliant way of doing that.
Yeah, well, they can get in touch with me on my website, which is beunmessablewith.com, or on Instagram, be unmessable with. It's kind of a theme, be unmessable with, the sign, be unmessable with. But the gift I want to give people is a free resource to actually have a step-by-step process to shift from reaction to creation. So I have an instant reset booklet. It's like a workbook, but it also gives you a cheat sheet, and you can get it at unmessablewithgift.com.
Ah, lovely. A gift. I like that. That's
A
really
gift.
that's really sweet. And I bet it's really good. I'm going to go and have a look at that myself, and I'm sure I will be thrilled with it. Thank you so much for sharing with us today, Josselyne. That's been amazing. Truly, it's it's a mini masterclass. I was struggling actually to contain it inside the 7 minutes, because I thought we could probably have had a dialogue that would have gone on for hours if you let me. You probably wouldn't have let me, but I wanted to pick your brain a lot more on what you're doing. It's fascinating.
Anytime.
Yes, it's very kind. So, but we are out of time today. So once again, Josselyne, thank you so much for doing Goalbusters with us today.
Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. And remember, everybody, keep goal busting, make your future and your present self proud. Bye-bye. Thanks for tuning in to Goalbusters. If you're enjoying it, please subscribe, rate and review it on your favourite podcast platform. Your support is very much appreciated. And if you're ready to boost your online profits, skyrocket your productivity, crush procrastination, and see a positive change in your bank balance, all within just 30 days, this is your opportunity. Take my free 5-day challenge at www.skyrocketyourproductivitychallenge.com.